Wahoo! Finally! Yes! Oh, wait! Do you guys hear that? That's the sound of Brad Culpepper leaving the island! Wahoo! Oh, yeah, woohoo! Uh-huh! Oh, yeah. Yes! Whew! How to get that out of the way? Oh, man. I am so happy that he's gone. Yes. Okay. I took that a little longer than I wanted it to. So, I liked the episode. Definitely a redeemer from last week, not just with one of the Culpeppers going, but also the tribal dynamics were a lot more engaging, problems with both tribes, and a very good challenge that surprised me in a couple of ways. So, let's recap for a little bit. Turns out the Tyson and Jervis talking about Oz clip was before things got switched up. So, all in all, I was kind of right that because it was done before it was switched, things were switched up, it didn't really matter too much. But next week, it's obvious that it's going to matter a lot more, and I'll tell you right now, I predict that the new Tadhana tribe is going to lose. So then the Redemption Island duo, I gotta admit, I thought Laura M was gonna be toast. Turns out she does the exact opposite and then owns the duel. So that was pretty good of her, and I get now why a lot of people were stating that, one, she actually is a noticeable character on her season and that she is a challenge dominator, other than the fact that she won the first 2 individual immunities. Then John beating Brad, I was glad that he did, but okay. Go back to the video, okay, and then note where Brad supposedly is with putting in the numbers when John finishes. They make it seem like he was only a couple of numbers away, but if you fast forward the clip to where Jeff is turning to the tribes and is stating, alright, now we're going to switch things up. If you look at Brad's square, you'll see that he wasn't even into the 80s. So, like, I understand that they're trying to hype it up for the drama, but, you know, couldn't you just admit that, he was, one, either getting outclassed or just wasn't able to keep going as quick in that duel? He himself admits it in his interview with Pav on the after show. It wasn't his day. He was tired, he was feeling a little bit defeated, he could tell it just wasn't his challenge, and then he just went with it. So, to anyone who argues that he isn't trying, he was trying, he just knew he was gone that day. Oh, and if my comment earlier didn't make sense, go to the challenge video and look at the top comments. It's the top comment, okay? So then, Jeff switches the tribes up, and I'm glad that this time it was actually random, because, well, I don't mind all of the tribe switches where it's, predetermined how many people from the original tribes are going to be with new tribes. For instance, that switch in Nicaragua or the Amazon. I don't really mind those switches, nor do I mind Vanuatu. But like with One World and Caramon, where Jeff deliberately is handing one thingy of eggs to a tribe and one to a specific other tribe, you know, it's just not as good, because what they did in Caramon, it was guaranteed that the favorites would have a majority on both sides, which most of us probably could have predicted would happen anyway, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm glad it was random. The interactions on both tribes were pretty interesting, because it was interesting to see how the women returnees were reacting to the situation and how Tina was able to interact with her daughter, but like with what Rob Sesternino said in his know-it-all thing with Steven, it seems like Katie still is just behaving like Tina's daughter, not as Katie Wesson, right? I forget Tina's last name, sorry. So it's just a tad bit of a bummer that she's behaving, you know, more like Tina's daughter. But who knows? We have plenty of time to change that up. The season's not even half over yet. Then as for what's going on in Tadhana, they're talking about blindsiding Oz, but the returnees are just getting those loved ones to cough everything up. And Haley's like, I'm not too sure about this. Well, yeah, but it's too late. You shot yourself in the foot there, buddy. Just hilarious. So going into the Immunity Challenge, I wanted a Galan to lose. One, because I didn't want to see Aris go this week. Next week, I expect Todd Hunter to lose, so I won't be as bothered there. And two, well, Monica was just annoying me throughout the entire episode, because, like, okay, every time I see Monica on screen this season, I just can't stand it. I'm just going... It's just like that kind of a thing. She's replaced her husband as the person I most want to see out of here. So when she goes, oh, thank you, thank you. But that's probably not going to happen for a while, unfortunately. And like the bits where Tina, Laura, and forget to get the fish trap. Jeff mentioned several times, get the fish trap. And why are we going back to fish traps? Fish traps are Borneo. Hello. Whatever. That's my complaint. And, like, I was totally surprised that, Galan managed to finish the puzzle, but still screwed up all those times. I mean, like, it took me forever to notice that the fins, were the wrong spot, but at a glance, yeah, that would look correct, so, But thankfully they lost it and they go to Tribal Council. So it quickly becomes apparent that the potential options are Vetus, the obvious choice, Monica, because of what Kat was saying, which in a way is true, and then Kat because of what Tina did. And to Tina, please do not become Dawn 2.0 2.0. For those of you who don't get what I mean, do not adopt Dawn's game in Carol mode, okay, Tina? We've already had, we all know what happened to Dawn, don't we? Okay? Really. But then it becomes apparent that Monica isn't going, and then it's between Vetus or Kat, and then I decided I wanted to see Kat go. Because, well, she shot herself in the foot, again, and then also I think Vetus is a major player in this season, so I just want to see him keep going. So Kat going to be expected, and oddly, like with last time, I felt like she deserved to go, but for some reason, I'm not feeling sorry for her this time. I don't really understand it. She's done nothing to piss me off, not too much to make me like her again, but, yeah, it's just odd. Because it's basically the same circumstance, albeit she's not crying as much, and she did have a feeling. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention what I thought about Laura M. giving Vetus the clue. Well, it kind of makes sense because they weren't expecting the tribes to be switched up, and I think she could gather a little bit from what John and her daughter said, oh yeah, and Brad, what they said to her, and that Vetus is a power figure, and not make it obvious like Candace did by giving it to her husband. So that sums up this week. Went a little longer than I wanted, but whatever. As for next week, I already said that Todd Hunter's losing. As for the duel, I'm predicting that Laura M's son is going to be the new favorite here, because, Rob made a valid point in his know-it-alls bit with Steven. John's story arc is pretty much done, because... Okay, let's think. He mainly got known for two things. I'm stealing Rob's thing here. For being Candace's husband, and being a noticeable figure on the Loved Ones tribe, especially with Brad Culpepper. Well, Candace is out of the game for good, and Brad is out of the game for good. So at this point, John's just surviving duel after duel after duel. Now, I like John, let me tell you, but Rob's right. His story arc is pretty much over at this point. So if they're going to bring like one person from Redemption Island, it's not going to be John. And well, we are all still assuming that they're going to bring back one person at the merge. Personally, somehow I get the feeling that that's not going to happen. Although if it doesn't happen, then how are they going to get the days made up? Oh yeah, so they actually do have to bring back somebody, because if they don't bring back somebody, then they would potentially have 4 people in Redemption Island, because they gotta do a double elimination at some point, so... Yeah, it actually makes sense. Yeah, they'll bring back one or two people from Redemption Island after the last one before the merge goes, and then the double eliminations play perfectly in getting the spare people back to Redemption Island. Okay, there we go. So, basically what I'm just trying to get at is Laura M is suddenly the new favorite, not a Cody, alright? And I'm somebody that prefers John over Laura M, let me tell you, but I can definitely tell that Laura M's a power player for now. As for Kat, not seeing it. And then her relationship with Hayden and what's going to be happening next week, well, out of pretty much every pairing, they'll just talked about the least. I mean, like, out of all of the pairings, if we were to rank the randomness of them, Kat and Hayden are clearly the most random. Well, that sums it up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this and got a lot from it. Sorry that it's late, I was out of town this weekend.